Hello students, the HP Kapadia group of schools along with GSTV presenting a very helpful and informative program Pass Tavanu Panchamrit, which is very helpful for the students who are appearing for board examination in this year 2021-22. I, Mrs. Nisha James, behalf of this program is helping you with the subject biology. Today we are going to do the detailed discussion of the blueprint of 12th science biology question paper and also chapter wise discussion. So we are starting with the session. So in this session, in this first half, we are discussing the blueprint of 12th science biology question paper. The 12th science biology question paper consists of two parts, that is part A and part B. The total allotted marks for this subject is 100 marks and the total time duration is 3 hours. Now we will do the detailed discussion of each part. First of all, part A. Part A is multiple choice question. There are total 50 questions. Each question carry 1 mark. So the allotted total mark is 50. Now part B, which is a subjective type paper, there are 3 sections in this paper, that is short answer 1, short answer 2 and long answers. This is again a 50 marks paper and the allotted time is 2 hours. And in this session, in this particular part B, there are no internal option, only generalized options are given. Now we will do the discussion in detail. Now part B is a subjective type paper. There are total 3 sections in this part, that is short answer question 1, short answer question 2 and long answer questions. The short answer question 1, which is of 2 marks, each question carry 2 marks. Now the number of questions, without general option you will get 8 questions, with general option you will get 12 questions. Out of this 12 you have to write only 8 questions. Each question carry 2 marks, so 8 into 2, the total marks is 16. Now short answer question 2, here without general option there are 6 questions and with general option there are 9 questions. Each question carry 3 marks and total 3 into 6 there are 18 marks. So that means out of the 9 questions you have to write only 6. Now the third one is long answer question. Each question carry 4 marks. Without general option you will get 4 questions and with general option you will get 6 questions. That means out of 6 you have to write any 4 answers which you are more comfortable and in which you are more confident. And the total allotted mark is 4 into 4, 16. So in part B, when you do the totaling, section A, that is short answer question 1, 16 marks, short answer question 2, that is section B, 18 marks and long answer question, that is section C, total 50 marks. So this is about the blueprint of the question paper. Now we will do chapter wise and also unit wise discussion of question paper. So this is the unit wise and also chapter wise allotment of mark. There are total, as you know that in biology there are total 16 chapters. And these 16 chapters are further divided into different units. Now we will discuss what about the unit wise and chapter wise weightage of marks. So in first unit there are total 4 chapters. Okay. So the allotted mark for unit 1 is 20 marks. Now we are starting unit 1, that is reproduction in organisms. In part A, that is objective, there are 3 marks, and in part B, that is subjective question, without option the 2 marks and with option that is 2 marks. Now when you go to second chapter, that is sexual reproduction in flowering plants, in part A there are 3 marks and in part B the without option you have 2 marks and with option 2 marks. Now chapter number 3, that is human reproduction. In this part A the allotted mark is 2 and in part B without option 4 marks and with option 7 marks. Now chapter 4, that is reproductive health. In reproductive health, part A, that is objective, the 4 marks, and without option there are nothing, and then with option there are 2 marks. That means in this unit 1, the maximum marks you have to give more importance to chapter 3, because the more marks is given to chapter 3, that is 7 marks. So if you focus on this third chapter, you can score good marks in your examination. Now, when you go to unit 2, the total allotted mark is 24 marks. There are 3 chapters in this unit 2. They are 5, 6, 7. So the 5th chapter, that is Principles of Inheritance and Variation. In this part A, you will get 3 marks, and in part B, without option, there are 6 marks, and with option, 6 marks. Now, chapter number 6, that is Molecular Basis of Inheritance. Here, part A, 3 marks, and part B, without option, 5 marks, and with option, 9 marks. Now, the 7th chapter, that is the last chapter of this unit 2, that is Evolution, and in this part A, there are 4 marks, and part B, without option, 3 marks, and with option, 3 marks. So students, we will continue the session after the break. After the break, we will discuss the paper pattern again. So stay tuned. We will meet after the break. Friends, welcome after the break. So we have discussed 2 units. Now we are continuing our discussion. So let's see. Unit 3, there are 3 chapters. That is chapter number 8, 9 and 10. Chapter number 8, that is Human Health and Diseases. In this chapter, part A, the allotted mark is 3, and in part B, without option 5 marks and with option 5 marks. So in this chapter, you are dealing with, mainly you have to learn about what are the different types of diseases. You know that diseases are 2 types, infectious and non-infectious diseases. So you have to learn all this disease, what is the causative organism, what are the symptoms, and what are the preventive measures of each disease. And chapter number 9, that is Strategies for Enhancement in Food Production. In this, part A, 3 marks, part B, without option 4 marks, and with option 7 marks. So that means in this unit, more marks are allotted for this chapter, that is chapter number 9, because this is an application and a relevant chapter in this present condition. Now, in chapter number 10, that is Microbes in Human Welfare, the part A 4 marks and part B without option 3 marks and with option 5 marks. In this chapter, it is mainly dealing with what are the various methods to improve the human health. What are the various methods to prevent the various, you know that nowadays new diseases are coming. So how to prevent this new infectious diseases, and what are the various methods to control and to improve your health. Now we have completed unit 3. Now we are doing unit 4. Unit 4, the total marks is 14 marks. There are 2 chapters. These 2 chapters are mainly biotechnology based chapters. So 11th chapter, that is Biotechnology, Principles and Processes. In this chapter, what about the technique of biotechnology, that we will learn in detail. Now the allotted marks, part A, objective 4 marks, and part B, subjective, without option 4 marks and with option 6 marks. So here also you can find that more marks are allotted. So you have to learn all this chapter also in a thorough manner, so that you can score good marks in your board examination. Now 12th chapter. This is an application related chapter, that is biotechnology and its applications. Here the mark distribution, part A 3 marks and part B without option 3 marks and with option 3 marks. Here we will learn about what are the different applications of biotechnology, just like the application of biotechnology in medicinal field and also in agricultural field. Now the unit 5, the allotted mark is 20 marks. Total 4 chapters are this, that is chapter number 13, 14, 15 and 16. Now we will do the discussion in detail. 13th chapter, that is Organisms and Population. So in this we will learn about what is an organism, what about a population, what are the various characteristics of a population. Now the allotted mark, the objective questions, allotted mark is 4, and then subjective without option 2 marks and with option 2 marks. Now 14th chapter, ecosystem. You know what is ecosystem? That is the surroundings where we are living. In this chapter we will learn about, that is, what are the various factors of ecosystem. You know that ecosystem consists of basically 2 factors, that is abiotic factors and biotic factors. So all these factors and how these factors influencing the organisms of the ecosystem, that also we will discuss. Now the allotted mark, part A, objective question 2 marks, and in subjective without option 2 marks and with option 5 marks. Here also you can find that more marks are given. So you can focus on this chapter also. Now 15th chapter, that is Biodiversity and Conservation. In this chapter, what is biodiversity and what is the importance of biodiversity conservation, that we will discuss. You know that due to the industrialization, we are facing the threat of biodiversity nowadays. So we will discuss what are the various measures to control this biodiversity. Now the mark distribution, the objective question 3 marks are allotted, and in subjective question without option 3 marks and with option 9 marks. So more marks are also given. So when you go through the entire blueprint, if you focus on certain chapters, you can score good marks. At the end of the blueprint, that I will highlight which chapters you have to focus, which will help you to score more marks in your board examination. Now when you go to the last chapter, chapter number 16, environmental issues. In this chapter we will discuss about what are the various issues that we are facing nowadays. You know that the most important issue that we are facing is mainly pollution. Now let's go through the mark distribution. The objective part 2 marks are allotted, and in subjective part without option 2 marks and with option 2 marks. So this is about the overall review of the blueprint. Now I am going to tell you what are the most important chapters. If you focus on these chapters, you can score good marks in your examination. That means the 3rd chapter, one by one I am telling. The first one, 3rd chapter, human reproduction, the maximum marks 7 marks. And then 6th chapter, molecular basis of inheritance, that is also very important because it is a relevant chapter, because in this chapter we are dealing with the present technology, that is recombinant DNA technology. Okay, the total marks are 9. Okay, and the next one, chapter number 9, that is strategies for enhancement in food production. The total mark is 7. So in this also, if you learn this chapter thoroughly, you can score good marks. And then chapter number 11, biotechnology, principles and processes. Here also 6 marks are allotted. And the last, okay, that is the 15th chapter, biodiversity and conservation, 9 marks are allotted. So if you focus on these chapters, okay, then you can score good marks in your examination. So students, we will continue our discussion after the break. So stay tuned. We will meet. Welcome after the break. Now we will continue the session. In this session, we will do the detailed discussion of each chapter. Okay, that means we will discuss the important topics of each chapter. So, as I already told you that there are total 16 chapters. So the first chapter, that is reproduction in organisms. In this chapter, this chapter is mainly dealing with what are the different methods of reproduction. You know that reproduction is a process by which the species continuity is maintaining, or it is the process by which parents are delivering the young one. There are basically 2 types of reproduction. that is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. So first we will discuss what about the types of asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is the reproduction which is performed by lower group of organisms. It is further divided into different subtypes. For example, fission. Fission is splitting of parental nuclei into daughter nuclei. This is normally done by amoeba. And second one, that is budding. So what are buds? Buds are some external or internal growth. Depending on the position where this bud is developing, this is further divided into exogenous budding and endogenous budding. If the bud is developing outside the parental body, it is called exogenous budding, and if it is developing within the parental body, it is called endogenous budding. A typical example for exogenous budding is mainly hydra and yeast. And the example for endogenous budding is mainly sponges. In sponges, these endogenous buds are otherwise called gemmules. Now, the third one, that is the spore formation. Spores are some spherical structures which bears multi-nucleus. Okay, so when the spores are breaking, each nucleus will be free and gradually that is covered by cell membrane and which grow as a new organism. The typical organism in which we can find spore formation is mainly fungi. Now, the second topic of this chapter is sexual reproduction. You know that sexual reproduction means which involves two parental one. That means the male organism and also female organism. The male organism is producing male gametes and female organism is producing female gametes. The fusion of the gamete, that is the most important step of the sexual reproduction. So, this sexual reproduction consists of basically three stages. They are, the first one, pre-fertilization. That means the fusion of gamete. It is the event which is taking place before fertilization. You know what is fertilization? Fertilization means fusion of male and female gamete. In this, there are two events. First one, gametogenesis, and the second one, gamete transfer. Gametogenesis means formation of gamete by the sex organ. For example, the testis is producing sperm and the ovary is producing ova. And gamete transfer, that means what are the various mechanisms by which each of these gametes are transferring. And the second event of sexual reproduction is mainly fertilization. I already told you that fertilization means fusion of male and female gamete. This fertilization, which is resulting in a unicellular structure, that is called zygote. And the zygote which carry blueprint for the development of entire organism. You know what is blueprint? Which is giving a basic idea in future and what will be the ultimate result of our product. What about its appearance? What about its characteristics? That is called blueprint. So zygote also carry blueprint for the development of the entire organism. And the third stage of sexual reproduction, that is post-fertilization. After fertilization, zygote is formed. This zygote, which is undergoing number of cell division and become a multicellular structure, this multicellular structure is called embryo. So the most important event of post-fertilization is embryogenesis. That is formation of embryo and how this embryo converted into a fully developed organisms. So these are the three stages of sexual reproduction. Now, the third topic of this chapter, that is chromosome number in meiocites and gametes. This is a very important topic because from this topic you will get lots of MCQ. We are discussing mainly chromosome number of meiocites, which are always diploid. Diploid represented by 2n. And the second one, that is the chromosome number of gametes. You know that gametes are always haploid. Now we will discuss the chromosome number of certain organism. That is very important and that can be asked for examination. So first one, so this is the table. The table is showing the chromosome number of different organism and chromosome number of meiocite and also gametes. First one, that is name of the organism. First one, human being. The chromosome number in the meiocite of a human being is 46 and the gamete chromosome number is 23. Now, second organism is fruit fly. What is the scientific name of fruit fly? That is Drosophila melanogaster. You know why this is important? Because this is the species in which Morgan has conducted his genetical experiment. So this is also very important. The chromosome number can be asked for MCQ. Now, in fruit fly, the chromosome number in meiocite is 8 and chromosome number in gamete is 4. Now, the third one, that is apple. In apple, the chromosome number in meiocite is 34 and chromosome number in gamete is 17. And the last one, that is maize. In maize, the chromosome number in meiocite is 20 and gamete is 10. So if you go through this table, it is very easy to calculate the chromosome number. Because if you know the meiocite chromosome number, if you do the half of this, then you will get the chromosome number of the gamete. So you have to learn any one and then you have to do the, depending on the question, if it is meiocite is given, then you have to do the half, then you will get the chromosome number of gamete. So students, this is the end of the first session. Now we will continue the discussion of biology in the next episode of Pass the Word.